I'm Aaron Michael Ritchie.
And I'm Cody May.
And this is the Colorado Author Interview Circle. And today we're talking with BK Brain.
BK Brain.
Hello.
And this, I'm very excited because, there's so many books to read. But you sent me your book to read, and I loved it. And that I read
awesome.
Dead Yet Dying. And you know, what's funny is, so I got it, and I'm like, okay, I'll read this guy's book.
Okay.
And I'm like, and I always start it like right before I go to bed. And so I started your book, and I'm like, oh my God, this is really good. Oh my! And I wake up my wife, and I'm like, Laura, this guy's book he sent me, it's really good.
First sentence: Dead men don't get cake.
So
I'm
tell us
hooked.
a little bit about Dead Yet Dying. Kind of what was the? You can give us a little bit of the pitch, and then kind of what the spark was that made you.
All right.
Spark.
Well, Dead Yet Dying. It is a guy who realizes that he was supposed to die with his fiancée in a tragic accident 15 years ago, and then comes to find out he's living the life of someone else, basically, or
Whoa.
living on their life energy. So, yeah, and then the original killer that wanted to steal the life that he's currently living on is now after him to get that life back. So that's the general gist of it, and then craziness and
My goodness.
terrible things ensue.
So what was the? Because he's a drunk janitor,
He is.
and he befriends,
alcoholic.
and he befriends one of the students there.
Yes.
Who's
or
this
she
troubled-
befriends him.
Yeah, that's
or-
right.
Yeah.
So how did that kind of and I think that dynamic really works well, not in a creepy way, no creepy,
Not in a Lolita way.
not in a Lolita way,
No.
but really is kind of these two damaged souls coming together.
Yeah, and that was really important for the book. Like her story feeds off of his, I believe. It just sort of, you see her family and how she's treated with, she has an alcoholic father as well. And then she's drawn to him because she feels like everybody else is judging her, and she can trust him because he doesn't know anything about her.
Right.
And so, and then, yeah, it's like a mirror. It goes back and forth with her tragedy and then back to his tragedy, and it just sort of worked. I don't know exactly what inspired that, but it really seemed to work. So, yeah.
So I was flipping through here, and I think I haven't quite had a chance to read it yet, but one of the first things I noticed was this very unique structure you've given the book. Parts, chapters, and then what looks like sub-chapters within each chapter.
Yeah,
What-
well, I started out using the Hollywood formula. I don't know,
Okay.
there's a lot of writers who have heard of that, and it's basically a 3-act
Yeah.
Hollywood formula. And of course, your center act is a double length, so I just split that in two, and so I ended up with 4 major parts to the book. The structure helped me move along with the story. It really, yeah. And then, of course, you've got your black moment, you've got all your inciting incident, all that
Sure.
stuff too.
Yeah.
So.
And I love that. I mean, I love the 3-act structure. I think stories want to naturally go to that structure. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people use the hero's journey, and,
Right, that
and
monomythology.
Star Wars and
Sure,
you know,
yeah.
all those things that you read about that use the hero's journey, but I just like the Hollywood formula better. It works better
I'm
for
with
my
you.
creative process.
it's what Aristotle thought so.
Yeah, I mean, and if Aristotle thought it.
Yeah. So where did the idea? I mean, it's really this kind of unique idea. Do you have a
is.
moment where the heavens opened up? Don't
Yeah.
sing.
Oh, yeah.
Where was that moment like?
No, I'm
No.
lying.
Oh, I went with all my books.
more
I know
practical.
exactly where when it's just like this idea hits me and I'm like riveted. I get hit by lightning actually, and I go
Really?
into a trance and a seizure.
Wow, you've been hit by lightning.
And like I can speak in tongues and
Well,
frogs jump out of my nose.
My
No.
ideas all come by mail order from Croatia.
From
As
Croatia.
any good author's ideas come from. No, it just starts with the MacGuffin, the idea of, just the idea that there's an energy that's like fueling life,
Mhm.
just I just brainstormed about it, and then I'm like, well, okay, how would that work? And then what characters would fit into that world? And of course, I come up with the most tragic, horrible, awful, alcoholic, and devastated characters I can. And then I treat them really badly.
Then you make it
In
worse.
case that wasn't bad
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
But it really is but I mean, that's really, if every story has been told, right?
Mhm.
It then becomes the characters taking part of that story
Yeah.
makes it unique.
Yeah,
And
totally.
I loved your characters in your book. That's really what drew me through it.
It's
is the
really
characters.
character driven,
Yeah.
and characters are the most important part of the entire process, because it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what the plot does.
Simple
If-
story.
If the reader doesn't care about
Sure.
the
Yeah.
characters and what happens, and I just love torturing characters. I don't know.
At least you don't
Yeah.
love
Like it so
torturing
much.
real people.
Yeah, that's good.
You
That's
can
good.
get it
well,
all out of
actually, let's talk about your book, Handbook
Oh,
for the
man.
Criminally Insane. So if you're interested in torturing people, so tell us a little bit about, because I'm not familiar with this one.
Okay, well, this is a comedy of horrors, so it's very much like, I don't know if you've read Christopher Moore.
Okay.
So it's supernatural, and yet it's very dark humor. So recently divorced lady moves to small town America, a place called Redmondsburg, just in hopes to start her life over. And her new house that she moves into is right across the road from a graveyard. Well, there are zombies in the graveyard that want to do bad things. There's a serial killer on the loose who,
Of course.
his pet hamster tells him who to kill.
So who's
Uh,
really responsible?
damn
The
hamsters?
hamster or the
Yeah.
killer?
And then the mayor has a pet chihuahua who's actually a bloodthirsty demon. And
Aren't they all, though?
Yeah,
That's not a
that's
stretch.
nonfiction. Yeah, that's not fiction.
So yeah, and so then they're after her because they have to sacrifice an innocent on Halloween so that the mayor can gain power during this ritual and take on the demon's power. And so they're after her.
As a
the
human,
whole
not a
time.
chihuahua.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gotcha.
It's hard to keep it all straight.
No, man,
but
I'm
yeah.
with you every
And
step of the
so-
way.
And then, of course, she meets her new best friend, Betty, who is not exactly human. So through the course of the book, you find out what or who Betty is.
So don't move to Redmondsburg. That's
Right.
No, really.
You will die.
don't want to be there.
Are you ever worried, getting such morbidity out there, that people will ask you, where does it come from?
Oh, yeah. People like that question a lot.
Yeah, they
and
do.
I can answer that about 10 million different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I watch a lot of Through the Wormhole with Morgan Freeman. I get a lot of science ideas there, and then I read a lot of Christopher Moore and Michael Crichton and Stephen King, and I love crazy suspense movies. I mean, I could give you any
Yeah.
number of answers, but really, I'm just crazy. That's just where
Oh,
No, it's that
Wow.
unique. What it is, I mean, at a genetic level, where we are all so unique, right? I mean, our genetics are so different. And then you put the desire to write books and you tie it to that unique genetic structure. And man, some people's
Dark
minds
things
just
happen.
work differently. And so
It's
now,
a good thing.
there's
It's a good
the
thing.
sequel, Handbook for the Festive Sociopath, which is
Oh
a
my
great title.
goodness.
Yeah, this one's based around Halloween, sacrificing an innocent on Halloween. The sequel is based, of course, festively around Christmas
And in Redmondsburg?
in Redmondsburg, same characters, so you've still got the lead character Monica, you've got her friend Betty, and then another character from the city, Suzanne. And so it's those three women, girl power kind of a thing, and they go and have a new adventure during Christmas. So it's set a
A
year
new
later.
adventure.
New adventure with
For the
zombies.
festive sociopath. So
yeah.
the zombies are still
Zombies
Dead.
come back to life in the sequel, and you've got a witch that's coming into town that is after the demon's power that they kill in
A
this
witch
one.
coming into town.
Chihuahua
And,
demon. Sure.
And she has the power of combustion, so she
Oh,
she
man.
passes along and makes people burst into flames, spontaneous combustion style.
And so you also have, we're running out of time, which is a shame. We
It's
also
so
have
quick.
4 short stories.
I do. So it is Odd Choices and Disturbing Behavior is the overarching name of the series. They're all either, well, 2 of them are free. I think 2 of them is 99 cents on Amazon. But so there's The Hidden and Jeremy's Potential and Harvey and Ethel and A Plague of Steve. And so, just those are all
All great stuff.
supernatural. Harvey and Ethel is about 2 old people who live across the street from each other, who one controls the world's good and the other one controls the world's evil. And so a battle ensues just between 2 elderly people throwing light bulbs at each other for about 20,000 words. So that's fun.
Man, that's awesome.
What does the future hold for you, Mr.
Once you
Brian?
get festive socio,
Yeah.
handbook for the festive
Yeah.
sociopath.
So I'm currently writing a new book, and it's very much like Dead Yet Dying, I guess, in that it's a supernatural thriller, but it's going to be more science-y, I guess, more like Michael Crichton
Okay.
than Stephen King this time,
Mhm.
and that one's
Very
going to be
cool.
called Squaring the Circle, and I have a protagonist who is a young girl who is schizophrenic and has some mental issues, and I like messed up characters.
I do
Can
too.
say,
I do too. They're fun or they're right.
crazy people.
Yeah. More fun.
Addicted people.
Yeah.
Devastated.
Best type of people, except in real
Yeah.
life. I'm not too fun.
Well, I hang out with a lot of, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you so much. So I'm excited for the future of BK Brain. You can find his work all across the internet. We'll
Yeah.
do links.
Yep,
The
some
links
links
will
in
be
the
there.
description.
The links
Yep.
will
I
be
mean,
there.
maybe not here, but
Maybe they're here.
down there for
There.
sure.
Right here.
No, I mean.
Well, thank you so much for making the drive.
Thank you.
This has been the Colorado Author Interview Circle. I'm Aaron Michael
and
Ritchie.
I'm Cody May.
Stay cheesy,
Cheesy.
Denver.
Oh my goodness.
Classy, sexy, sassy.
Ugh.